everyone, Neonstar here, and welcome to another episode of School Stories. While for the most part you can watch these individually, I'd recommend watching my first grade video first before you watch this one. I'm actually kind of surprised I could split first and second grade into two videos, since I tend to blend these years together. You'll see why in a moment. To start this where we left off, we went to summer vacation and I was riding high. No longer was I going to be bullied by my teacher, and the rest of the year was looking bright. But Karma got a bat for their birthday, and I was looking like a piñata. Once summer was over, we were told who my next teacher was going to be. It was Miss B! No! As it turns out, Miss B decided to move up to teaching the second grade and took most of her class with her. We ended up moving from across from my last class to downstairs near where the computer labs were. Not much changed in the class dynamic this year, so my memories are a bit jumbled up. Everything I talk about here and in the last video could have been in the other year, but I can't remember. So there was more bullying, more crying under desks, and more falling asleep on the floor. I believe there were some new kids, and some previous kids managed to escape. Not like I can remember any of them anyway. In my last video, I mentioned that I was going through my thieving arc. I would steal the sticker sheets because I never got any stickers naturally. That didn't change this year. I wanted to start stealing other things. I don't remember what else I actually stole, but I wanted to take this butterfly wand that sat on Miss B's desk. I even imagined that she'd be so distraught over this she'd die of a heart attack. I never managed to nick it when no one was looking. Something I did manage to take was the 100-day stickers. We had 100 days of school celebration, and there were these alien stickers. We were all gonna get one, but I wanted all of them. So after everyone left, I managed to smuggle all the sticker sheets into my backpack, and some regular stickers too. I think Miss B saw me steal the regular stickers, though. The next day, I was accused of stealing the stickers. Someone said that they saw them in my backpack when I left the building. This was ridiculous, though, since my backpack was zipped up tight. I managed to argue my way out of any consequences, and I stopped taking things after that. Too risky. I'm still surprised I got away with all of that. We had an activity involving working solar power cars. I was very obsessed with them. I wanted to take them, but everyone was always looking at them. I mentioned in the last installment that Eric was into engineering, so he took the lead on all the solar power activities. Miss B even gave the cars to him at the end of the year. My idea was to marry Eric and take the cars in the divorce. I was such a weird kid. I also mentioned that Eric liked destruction. This is what eventually led to us falling out. I won't go into much detail because I can get that sweet clickbait, but I wrote him a love letter that got a bomb threat called on me. So we stopped being friendly towards each other. This year ended up topping last year in terms of stress. Sleep issues, bullying, losing friends, bomb investigations. One time during recess, I really didn't want to go back to class. When the bell rang, all the classes would line up in their spots to go back. I sat on a rock and just watched my class go back. I was planning on just sitting there, but a teacher spotted me and asked me which class I belonged to. And I, in a stroke of genius, told her that I hit my head and couldn't remember. I might as well have had brain damage for using that excuse. I didn't think to not tell her my name. I guess I didn't want to go too far with my lie. But Miss B already called on the radio that Melody was missing. So the teacher took me straight to class. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. I got mocked for that one, though I probably deserved it. I lived far away from school. We had moved into the Blue House that year, and it was 3.5 miles away. My dad would come drop me off and pick me up. I was late a lot, though, since I was having sleep problems. Even when we lived in apartments across the street, I was still late for school. Miss B was very harsh with tardy slips. If I wasn't in line when the bell rang, I would get the slip and have to go all the way to the office area and punch in that I was late. Even the office staff thought it was ridiculous. I was pretty used to the route we took home from school, so I was confident that I could walk my way home. You know, all 3.5 miles of it. So one day, Eric convinced me that I could just walk my way home. So I crossed the street, crossed onto a residential street, and started to doubt myself. I knew when to turn, but I wasn't sure where to go after that. I lingered so long that a mom came out and asked me if I needed help. I explained the situation to her, and she called the police. So an officer came and drove me back to school. Needless to say, I was in big trouble. My dad was freaking the hell out, and all the staff were yelling at me. The principal mostly yelled at me for wasting police time. Like, is that really your biggest concern right now? I definitely deserved to be yelled at, though. If my younger brother did what I did, I'd kill him on the spot. A tradition for my school was the Halloween parade. We'd dress up in our costumes and march around the whole school. It was something everyone looked forward to. My sister participated every year, and I tried to. I ended up throwing up the previous year in the middle of the parade and going home. So this year I was very hyped. I was gonna dress up as a cat, which was my favorite costume. For some reason, the other kids called me a liar when I told them what my costume was. So I was excited to wear it for both the experience and to prove idiots wrong. My two favorite things. On Halloween, I wore my dress, my headband, and my mother drew on my whiskers. My dad drove up to the school, and the principal came running towards us. She told us that they discontinued the Halloween parade, and I had to go home and change. My dad was pissed. It was an easy enough costume to make normal, but she wanted us to drive all the way back home to change, and then drive all the way back. So my dad drove me back, and I took the whole day off. I was crushed. And the boys who called me a liar took great glee in saying that they were right, which is my least favorite thing. We never had another Halloween parade again. That was the biggest tragedy for younger me. This was the year that I started really becoming a weeb. My sister had introduced me to Vocaloid at the public library, and I was obsessed. She taught me all kinds of things, like various Japanese foods. We ate Pocky, and she told me about mochi. Mochi is a rice cake filled with bean paste, in case you didn't know, and it's sweet tasting. One day, we were doing acrostic poems, and I used Pocky and mochi for 2 of them. I turned it in and felt pretty good about it. Sensing my happiness, Miss B had to shoot me down. She told me that mochi and Pocky aren't real words, and I had to redo them. I told her they were the names of Japanese snacks, so she turned to Jason, the Chinese-American student, and asked him if it was true. And he told her no. I argued that it was Japanese and not Chinese, but Miss B said that they're the same country. How do you become a teacher when you're this ignorant? I think I was so stunned by this, I just redid my poems in complete silence. And that's all we have for today. I know it's shorter this time, but it's all I can remember. Summer came again, and I was so relieved to be away from Miss B. And this time, I would actually get away from her. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't seen them, be sure to watch the previous school videos and let me know what you think. If you liked this, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you didn't, well, to hell with you. Kidding. You can give me negative feedback if you want. Have a good day regardless. Bye!